Hello, welcome to the online course on problem solving using C. So now let us discuss about jump statements in C. Jump statements are used to transfer from one location to the another. So here the keywords we are having in jump statement and the keywords that transfer a program's control from one location to the another, either within the same block or across the functions. They are set of keywords which are responsible to transfer programs control within the same block or from one function to the another. We are having four jumping statements in C language: go to statement, return statement, break statement, and continue statement. The first jump statement is go to statement. So let us discuss about go to statement. Go to statement, it does not require any conditions. This statement passes control anywhere in the program. That is, control is transferred to another part of the program without testing any condition. So here, the goto statement, we will have a label which is a valid identifier, and the identifier name is followed by a colon. So let us see the syntax. You can see the syntax: go to label, semicolon, some set of statements, again label, colon, and statements ended with a semicolon. So here in this syntax, label is an identifier. When the control of the program reaches to go to statement, the control of the program will jump to the label, which is ended by a semicolon, and then executes the code below, that is the statements. The goto statement requires a label to identify the place to move the execution. Label is a valid identifier or a variable which must be ended with a semicolon. So now let us go ahead to discuss the example of goto statement. Voting eligibility program using goto to jump between labels based on the age. Here we are having a set of statements where statement 1, statement 2 and statement 3. That is nothing but label 1, 2 and 3. Here you can see the main declaration of age, and as we are discussing about voting, so if you are eligible, you will have a vote. If you are not eligible, you will have no vote. Based on that, you have to enter your age. If your age is above 18, you will go for voting. That is, you will go to a statement called voting. You'll get an option called vote. You are eligible to vote. Else, you will go to no vote. Now, the second jump statement is return statement. When coming to the return statement, you can see ending an execution and returning to control. Return statement, what does it mean actually? Return statement terminates the execution of a function and transfers the control back to the calling function. So here, returning a value. Return statement can optionally pass a value back to the caller. The returned caller or the value's type must match the function's declared return type. Otherwise, the compiler will raise an error. The first statement is go to and the second one is return. So now we will go with the example ahead for return. Here you can see a simple example in return. Return, here you will declare variables A and B. You are returning A and B. For example, the caller can be sum. Sum is equal to A plus B. So the next one can be your greeting. So here the first one, int add. You will declare the header files. Then you will declare the variables. So before declaring here int add is nothing but it returns the computed sum, an int which is matching the declared return type. The next following is void greet. Void is nothing but no return type. So here it uses a bare return with no value. Valid and optional invalid void functions. The next, return 0. Here you are declaring with int main. When you're going with void main, you do not have any return type. When you're coming with int main, we will have return value. Here a, b, that can be 3 and 5. So you're adding two values and that you are saving it in result. So the sum will be saved in result. Here return 0 in main function. So it signals successful programs termination to the operating system. The next jump statement is break statement. Break statement. Break is a keyword. Break statement immediately terminates the loop. Either it can be for loop or while loop or do while loop. It immediately encountered the break statement is used or associated with a decision. Making statements such as if else, all these comes under break. It is typically used with if or if else decision statements. The syntax can be written like break ended with a semicolon. So let us see the working of break. Initially, it enters into the loop. It will test the expression of the loop. If it is true, it will go to break. If it is false, it will exit the loop. If it is true, it will go to the loop. There it will check whether to stop the condition, whether it is satisfied or not. If it is true there, it will exit. If no, it will come down again and the remaining part of the body of the loop will remain. So here, let us see an example how a loop runs. You can see the diagram here. We can see loop runs normally and break encountered. When a loop is running normally, iterations proceed until a condition is met. If a loop is not running properly, it means break encountered. Loop exists or exits immediately when the condition is true. So here you can see an example of break. Here we took loop 1 to 10 and we have to stop at the position 5. So in my for loop, I have considered I is equal to 1 and I less than or equal to 10 as I have already taken values 1 to 10. So an I plus plus, that is increment. So when coming to the body of the loop program, here the statements printf percentage %d. I'm just declaring. But the condition is I have to stop it at 5. So break should be at 5. So after 5, I need to stop. So I will be 5. When if I give my I equal to 5 and followed by a break statement, so output will be loop will run to 1. It will get incremented. It will check the condition. It will increment. 1 will be printed. Again, the value which is incremented. So I will be 2 again. It will check the condition. 2 is less than or equal to 10. Yes. Again it will come. Come down and again if value 2 is equal to 5. Yes, it is 2 is equal to 5. So again there is no break. So again it will print 2. It will go up. Again it will check. It will increment and then it will check. I value will be 3. So it will check the condition. It will check if condition and 3 value will be printed. I will be incremented. Now I is 4. It will check the condition. 4 is less than or equal to 10. Yes. It will go to the if condition. If condition is also true, it will print 4. Now I will be incremented and I is 5. It will check the condition. 5 is less than or equal to 10. True. It will go to the statements. If condition 5 is equal to 5. It's true. So break statement. After 5, it will not print. So 5 value will be printed. Now again I will be incremented. So I will be 6. It will check the condition. Once it's checked the condition, it will go to the body of the part. Now it will check if condition. If 6 is equal to 5. As we already know, we have a break statement and I is equal to 5. So I will be 5 itself. So it will stop the value there itself. So loop exits as soon as I is equal to 5. It will stop printing. Now let us go with the last jumping statement, continue statement. Continue statement is a keyword exactly opposite to break. It skips remaining statements in the current iteration. It is used for continuing next iterations of the loop statements. When it occurs in the loop, it does not terminate, but it just skips. Some statements inside the loop or statements after the statement, the continue statement is used or associated with decision making. They can be if else. So the continue statement syntax can be written as continue followed with a semicolon. So here you can see the working, an example of continue. So when coming for working, when we go with the continue statement, we can say a flowchart saying that loop enters, it will test for the expression. If the condition is false, it will directly exit the loop. If it is true, it will go and check the continue statement. If the continue statement is again true, it will go to the repeat of test expression of loop. If the statement is false, the remaining part of the body will be in the loop. Here you can see loop iteration. It will check the condition. If the continue hits, it will skip remaining and then go for the next iteration. So here, when you check with the example, you can compare some set of values 1 to 10. For example, let us say print 1 to 10. And the example is you have to skip any of the number in between. The next statements will continue. So here I have taken 1 to 10 statements and I would like to skip 5. So I have a loop I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10 because I am printing 10 numbers and increment value. My condition is I want to skip 5. So if I equal to 5, continue the next statements. So value 5 will be skipped and the rest of the numbers should be continued normally when I am continuing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, still 4 it will be running. When coming to 5 value, if 5 equal to 5, continue. So I have to skip the value of 5 and then continue with the increment 6. So I will become 6. So on all the statements will be continued till 10. Why only? So now we can see the differences between break and continue. Here, as we already know, that break is quite opposite to continue. We have seen the example above. While printing 1 to 10 numbers in break, when we give a syntax called break, what happens is in between, if I is equal to 5, it has printed only 1 to 5 values and the rest values got terminated from the loop. Whereas in continue, it skips only that particular value and continues the next iteration. So here break, it terminates the loop entirely, whereas continue, it skips the current iteration and it moves on. When coming to break, it controls the moves outside the loop, whereas in continue, it controls the moves to the next iteration. For break, it is used to exit on a condition. For continue, it is used to skip specific cases. For example, as we have earlier told, skip 5. So that specific condition will be skipped. The overall summary of jump statements. It is controlling the flow. Here jump statements gives you a precise control over the program execution. You have to use them wisely to write efficient and which should be readable in C programs. Jump statements are essential control flow tools that unconditionally transfers the control within the code. It deviates from standard sequential execution. They act as precision escape hatches for loops, switches, and functions. We have seen the summary for jump statements. and the overall 4 jump statements: go to, return, break, and continue. Go to jumps to a labeled location anywhere in the program where no condition is required. It transfers control to a labeled statement. Use sparingly risks, which is also called as spaghetti code. Return. When coming to the return statement, it exits the current function and optionally returns a value to the caller. It terminates a function and passes control back to the caller, like reporting back to your manager after completing a task. So once the task is given, if you're done, you will again remail it. So you will report it back. So that is nothing but return. Now, break and continue. In break, it immediately exits the closing or enclosing of loop or switch statement. It exits the nearest loop and switch immediately, like hitting an emergency stop button, where it halts a search once the item is found. Whereas continue is nothing but skipping and the rest of the iterations, next iteration, or the continuation of the current loop will proceed to the next. It skips only the current iteration and jumps to the next.